Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles as they do battle with the reigning MVP of the...
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. This is the former Nittany Lion, the rookie Miles Sanders. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
From the 24, Wentz throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Over the middle, complete. It's Ward. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 41-yard line. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. Running with Howard. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35. Well, how about the passing numbers so far on this first drive?
Oh, no doubt about it. They're flinging it around pretty successfully. And look at the start. The confidence level that we see in him rising because he's hit a few early. And how about the last one? The big shot right there.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Working from the gun, Mahomes dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 36 yards on the play.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Oh, he's got it going early in this one. That's the Shady McCoy. That's vintage right there, right? Breaking tackles, creating explosive runs. And if they don't take care of this early, look out. This guy's going to have a big, big day.
You know where he got that nickname Shady, by the way?
I know you're going to educate.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. 14 yards. And the Chiefs have taken the lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And that one goes virtually nowhere. Tried to fake extra point, but nothing comes of it.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them to do that?
What was that? Maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film with those to try something from the 15 on a PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
Well, CD, let's look at Philadelphia's season here as they come back out here for this next drive. 5-7, 3 straight losses, but this last one was the real head-scratcher, 37-31 to the Miami Dolphins. And they had a chance to pull into a tie with the Cowboys because the Cowboys are 6-6. Still a chance at that division, obviously, but that was not a good look against Miami.
To put it mildly, and while they have the opportunity to still win the NFC East, remember, if they win out, they control their own destiny and they'll win the division. That's getting tougher and tougher to hang your hat on. They're 0-7 now when trailing in the 4th quarter this season. They finish with the NFC East, all within their own division. Home against the Giants, at Washington, home for Dallas, at the Giants. Looks like a good schedule and manageable, but they're not playing at a level where it's manageable. They're playing at a level right now where any of those teams can beat them, and that's what Philadelphia has to figure out because it just doesn't make sense that a roster this good is sitting there at 5-7 at this point in the season.
6-3 is our score after one. It's the NFL on EA Sports. They'll get nothing out of the completion there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but
yeah,
no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Mahomes. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And now look at him go. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Sammy Watkins, 70 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, Sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior team, that they can try these sorts of things and it won't come back and hurt them later.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Wentz will try again on second down. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to go down again. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Kansas City's offense coming back onto the field here, and the Chiefs now 8-4. They had the division battle this past weekend against Oakland. Beat them up pretty good, Charles, 40-9, and now it's looking for all the world that the division will belong to the Kansas City Chiefs for 8th. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now they'll try and run the sweep to McCoy. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And going deep for Hill. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 83 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Yeah, something to get in the ball. We'll see if they can do it. No gain on the dump off. It's second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. Throwing on second down, Wentz. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And that will be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This will be fielded at the 17. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive. Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Tyreek Hill, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter. They're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun now for Wentz. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and angled for them and shot for them. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
They begin the drive with Williams, shedding the tackle. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Damian Williams taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
A final shot before half for Wentz. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one is maybe not exactly in the bag yet, but there is...
Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. Well, with Damian Williams, it's notable that the Chiefs didn't make a play to go after a big-time running back in the offseason. The coaching staff said back in May they didn't want running back by committee. They trusted Williams to be their starter. You remember last year he was forced into the starting role the final 3 games of the season due to attrition, and he really excelled. And then he was excellent in the playoffs against the Colts and Patriots. Strong indicator that he was ready to be the bell cow. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. Williams, he gets away from 1. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He's looking deep for Bell. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Blake Bell, 30 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Butker on for the PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. 5 plays there on that drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Throwing his Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Again, it's Howard. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now Wentz. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
This is taken at about the 14. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? How do they score here, especially a touchdown? It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground with McCoy this time. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And down to the 7-yard line. A big pickup of 38. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And McCoy is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Taking it in from 7 yards away as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And while no one on the offensive line will give the 6 points next to their name, they should be credited with this one. Tremendous blocking to get the runner into the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a LaShawn McCoy touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Taking it about the 16. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a first down. When plays break down, that's normally when Mahomes is at his best throwing the football, but as we saw, he can run it too. Last year, 60 carries, 272 yards, great elusiveness and speed, and well, the Chiefs obviously don't want him to be a running quarterback, but if he sees an angle like he did there, any opening, he has the ability to take it and run. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Brenton, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
On second down, it's Williams. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Ware. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
Well, now they'll try the end around. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, partner, if we had their entire playbook in front of us, I'm not sure we would have picked out that play as the one to run in that situation. How about the guts of the offensive coordinator? Dialing that one up into great success.
I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there as that one is going to blow up in their faces. A huge loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. A good run there, 9 yards, but it still leaves them with work to do on 3rd and goal.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Mahomes going to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did.